Welcome to Comics League. I'm Jared, and today we are talking about the inevitable. What do I mean by that? Well, the merger went through, so finally we have an update on what's going on with the SnyderVerse. Now, you may be wondering, what's going on? Well, the Warner Brothers Discovery merger has finalized. They are now Discovery Warner Brothers or Warner Brothers Discovery. Point is, now the doorways is open for the Snyderverse to return. And it looks like we could be seeing more updates on that front because recently we saw like Warner Brothers refollowed Zack Snyder on Twitter. Now, granted, that could be like circumstantial. We don't really know if it's at that point that they refollowed him, but my point is that the wheels are in motion and it looks like we're getting closer and closer and closer to the inevitable return of the Snyderverse, which I for one am so excited for because it means we get, and not only his other movies, because the other movies include like the Batman HBO Max series with Ben Affleck, the Deathstroke movie, basically all the stuff that we would have gotten 2017, 2018 era, but we get them now. That's the cool part. We get it now. So the point is that so far, what the timetable that I would say over under, I would say would be like, I mean, we'll get like indications probably within the next year if it's gonna when it's gonna happen that's gonna happen or something like that, or Zack will continue throwing out his cryptic tweets and Vero posts because that's what he does, and I love him for it. But we'll get like rumblings. But I would say we'll start to hear about meetings probably like within the next year to 2 years, and then I think 2 years from now is when they'll announce that the Snyderverse he'll announce that he's coming back unless Netflix somehow lets him also go back to Warner Brothers. What I mean by that is because he has an exclusive contract with Netflix right now, which I believe expires next year or the year after. I believe it's the year after. So my point is that we'll have to wait for that to happen before anything can really occur with the Snyderverse. Unless somehow Netflix is so nice that they're like, okay, you can go do that too. But the point is, it's going to take some time. It's not going to be instant. But the point is that it's significantly more likely that the Snyderverse is going to be restored. Like, if I were 100% sure before, I'm 101% sure now. Because guess what? New leadership. Even though Emmerich is still there, and as of the recording of this video, Hamada is still there. Doesn't mean that can change. And B, they have significantly less power. They're outvoted on everything. So the point is that be happy because we're gonna get our stuff, and with that and then we'll also get more of the good stuff that we've been waiting for. Now, to give you guys a refresher, by the way, actually no, before I give you guys a refresher, I believe one of the key points that told Warner Brothers Discovery that they should continue Snyderverse is when the scene won the Oscar, the Flash going back in time scene, because what that showed is that there's very big value in the Snyderverse, but then also the other Zack Snyder movie, Army of the Dead, winning fan choice shows basically that there is like value in the Zack Snyder brand, not just the director Zack Snyder, the brand too has value. So what I think is going to happen with that is that, and it was rumored, like a report went out that when Warner Brothers saw the scene one and all that Zack Snyder stuff one, they were, I guess the word is surprised that like at how he swept through all the fan categories. And as you know, David Zaslav saw the truck that said make the Batfleck movie or series, but the point is he saw the thing, and he was even impressed. So basically what I'm saying is it's very likely that at least under Zaslav that's going to happen because he saw the fan reaction. Now, to give you guys a refresher on what we're getting, so as you know with the Snyderverse, we left it at Darkseid taking the old way to come to Earth. Now, what does this involve? So we're gonna get the Ben Affleck Batman movie, which would be him fighting Deathstroke because Deathstroke finds out that Batman's Bruce Wayne. Then I believe there was a Man of Steel 2 in there. And then we would get Justice League 2, which is the Justice League acting like a team. And oh yeah, also Aquaman takes place in between. So that the Justice League acting like a team, Lex Luthor assembles the what's it called, the Legion of Doom. The point is, it was his Justice League. They take out the Justice League and trigger Darkseid invading, and then Darkseid kills Lois Lane, and then Superman falls under the influence of the anti-life equation. Then at that point, we get the Nightmare timeline, which then leads to Justice League 3, which would be the finale film, or 2A as it's called in the storyboards. And Justice League 2A would end with it would basically be, first off, take place majority in the Nightmare timeline. Then it would tie into the Batman versus Superman scene with Barry Allen going back in time to see Bruce and saying, save Lois Lane, she's the key. At that point, the timeline is changed, and then Bruce Wayne sacrifices himself and absorbs the Omega beams and saves Lois Lane's life. Superman makes Darkseid retreat, and the Darkseid brings in an invading army. At this point, we get a massive battle with like the Green Lantern Corps. Every single facet of the DC universe pretty much unites against Darkseid, and it's a nice, I guess, echo of the history lesson scene from Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then it ends with the child of Lois Lane, Superman, he took out that drama part, would become Batman. So that's pretty much where the SnyderVerse is going and what the storyline was. I like to always do that to give you guys an idea of what we're getting. And basically, yeah, and I want to stress this. Don't boycott the other movies because that's not going to do anything. What you want to do is you want to support the DC brand, because when you support the DC brand, guess what that communicates to Warner Brothers? That the DC brand is viable, so they're not going to start further like cutting down and sabotaging. So support DC movies. It doesn't matter if it's Snyder or not, but Snyder wants you to support other movies too, not just his stuff. That's what I would do. Go see the movies, support them, show Warner Brothers that there's value in the DC IP, and then they will restore the SnyderVerse. They're still going to do it, but just please do it. Don't be like those people that freaked out, and that's why Snyder got his universe taken away from him. Okay, that's just my one request as just a lowly comic book YouTuber. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're there, people. Keep the faith. Remember, faith, Alfred. Faith. Stay work, everyone. Bye-bye.